Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura Crapo, and today I'm gonna do a reading about where does your mind live? Like where because there's a lot of I'll just try to ease in. Like a lot of my videos are long, so and also if you subscribe, you can ask a question and I'll answer it to you. Like I do psychic readings and stuff, so feel free to subscribe and ask a question, and I'll interrupt briefly what the theme of this video. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Because I was just listening to this awesome 2-hour video by this really smart and interesting healer from Africa, and so I guess my mind's still processing that. Anyhow, I'm gonna try to chill out. And so basically, I had a friend today who was stressed out from something that happened at work, and they didn't want to go to work today, and then they were because they had so many emotions circulating about the unpleasant thing that a customer did, and it wasn't the first time. So I was trying to say your emotions are like the weather, and your your character is your determination is walking through that weather to where you want to go. I didn't say character. I had another word for it that was more accurate, but I can't. I don't know, my mind's just in a whirlpool right now. So okay, so I'm just gonna try to chill out. So I mean, I'm a good example right now, where where is your mind living? But basically, for better or for worse, there's good energies and there's sort of negative energies, and regardless of your present situation, you gotta park your mind in the good parking spot, in positivity, because nothing really good comes of going down a chaotic road. And it's pretty easy to sense the difference between good and bad. So just on a very basic level, it's just okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna put my mind on something positive, and it might seem too dreamy or something to do that when you have real issues at hand. But honestly, it's to use the the farmer whatever simile. It's where you gonna plant your seeds, or you have to put it in good soil. You have to put your mind to good things to make good things grow. And it's very basic, and it can be frustrating to be in the moment when something's truly chaotic and rotten. But if you can just simply do that one little task, it opens the door for better things to come in, and for you to see something from a less reactive and a more peaceful place. Anyhow, I don't know, it's interesting. Normally, if you've watched my other videos, I'm way more calm. I'm looking for that deck of cards. The tarot deck. That's interesting. Where is that? I can't see it. I guess that means I'm not adding tarot cards to this reading. All right. This is really funny reading, so I'll do it without cards, and I will tune in to the collective on this theme of your mind, and purposefully putting it in a positive place. And also, like I said, if you're new to my channel or you're not new to my channel and you've never subscribed, like if you press subscribe and then you can ask a free question, I'm happy to answer that for you, whatever I pick up. Okay. Yeah, so it feels like there's kind of like, it almost feels metallic, but like kind of a wedge of like information. Um, and I'm gonna say that's like technology and stuff, news and things like that. Um, and the rest of the information part of it feels like almost like a plant or like octopus, like sort of undulating thin strands of information, either coming from people or like organic situations. Um, and then there's this like thicker, it's like the consistency of like a hot dog or something, like a more muddy stream of information that feels more like family, like whatever your family story is, or who raised you, or what uh, the sort of long term situation you were in growing up, whatever that was. And then in the midst of all that, like if you think of those things as sort of a cage, then you have your own kind of soul and your beautiful energy of yourself. And it's like, where can that thrive in this structure of these various uh, enclosures of information? I kind of feel like it's sort of like someone climbing a fence and like peeking over or peeking through the where's, where's my English? The boards, like the panels of the fence, and just choosing to like look at a beautiful scene, kind of thing. Like maybe there is some space, maybe there is like a small portion of life where there just feel like there's some calmness or nature or respite or something like that from the day-to-day information, whether it's technology, people or just like the baggage from how you were raised. Yeah, it feels like the one solution is like purposely choosing to focus on something beautiful that you are aware of, that is like natural and like I'm not thinking it's like you're not focusing on another person. It feels like a scene, like a beautiful natural scene with sunlight and like calm and just not so calm that it doesn't have life in it, but like it's not chaotic because like nature can be very rambunctious. Yeah, and I think that like the power of that focus can't be underestimated. Like just because we can see what's already been created and it feels like stronger or more solid than your focus, like your focus is very palpable. Like if you walk into a room, people are like checking your vibe first, so it is palpable, like your focus, your vibe, whatever. Like if someone walked in a room and they had no vibe, it would be weird, right? um so okay. And I feel like while focusing on this beautiful scene, whether you're actually looking at it, uh or you're in your imagination thinking about that. But I do feel that there's some advantage, if possible, to like look at actual nature, whether like how some people in school look out the window. um, I feel like it's a two-way communication when you're focusing on something like that, like on nature or something beautiful that isn't a person. It because you've made this connection with that that beautiful thing, it's harder for someone to grab your full attention to whatever they're like maybe wanting you to put your energy into, which may or may not be something you want to do. I'm not saying like like ignore people or anything, but like if you do the it's like stretching or doing a little workout, whatever you're capable of, like even the smallest, like I gave myself a lot of leeway to get back in shape. I'm like, if I feel a little ache, I'll just walk it off for a bit and then try running again. And like over time, I've gotten better and gone further, and it feels more just like jogging just feels like walking now, which it didn't a couple months ago. So it's that kind of thing where if you train your mind to connect and just observe and appreciate nature, even just like in a super basic, I'm just looking at it way, like um, that relationship builds, that focusing on something good becomes um, like foundational for you. So it's harder for you to be like tripped up or by other situations. Because if you're just circulating, observing, it would be easy to spend your whole day like just observe, 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 like what's going on, like just scanning your world for any whatever it might be. Um, then you haven't put in the time focusing on something beautiful that represents like goodness, so that it's like having two passports. Like you got your goodness land like passport because you put in the time and you're a citizen there, you spend time there, you have a home there, and then you have your like real world uh physical world kind of passport. Okay. I feel like if some people are in like early stages of like loosely put meditation or just put choosing to put your focus on something good, um don't be overcritical about the initial stages because it can it's just like you can have a bit of imposter syndrome with that, like what am I even what's what are these thoughts, or like why am I so uncomfortable just focusing on nature like or whatever it might be. Like don't over criticize, just like you wouldn't discourage someone from starting to work out if they hadn't for a long time and they were uncomfortable and felt awkward, or like you know um you wouldn't say like you better quit, like you'd encourage them, so encourage yourself to stick with it, and like eventually it'll make sense. It's like I don't know, like it's a bad example, but like my dad, when I was a teenager, moved to France, so then we had to go out there to visit him. And like back in the 80s, France had like all the TV shows were like 5-year-old Gilligan's Island, and it'd just be like, what is my life? Like what is it? Wasn't like I wasn't like appreciating it as much as I do now. And so it's sort of like it it's still good, but it felt tedious to like learn something about a new place, so it's sort of exhausting because you can't like immediately think like what park do I want to go to, or you know stuff like that, and you don't know a lot of people, and it's that kind of like lonely feeling of being in a new place. It's like that when you start meditating. You just like feel like, why did I even come here? Like, like you know, stuff like that. So just like take your time. Um, okay, what else? I'm just like wondering where I put those cards. It's kind of a huge deck. Not that I need it, like, but I'm just like curious. There's like maybe I brought it inside. Maybe because I thought it's like really nice weather today, and it was really cold, and it seemed like okay, winter's coming. Like I heard some like geese flying like south, and I was like, okay, pack it up. Maybe I brought the cards in the house. Anyway, mercifully, we have some nice weather again. All right, so okay, where to put in your mind? It's like very fitting that I'm distracted in this, this video. Okay, advice. It feels like there's this metallic shield, sort of like I mean metal color, like grayish. And it feels kind of like plasticky and metally, and it's giving like I don't know if like some people say like 5G messes with like it feels like that kind of like technological messing with you kind of stuff. I know like I inadvertently discovered that when my Wi-Fi is off at night, like I have my dreams are just way more vivid and I sleep better. Like my desire to watch like Logan's Run at 2 a.m. is too strong sometimes for me to turn it off. So um that might be a thing, like to give your body like I know like if you live in an apartment or in a city, you have like 7 Wi-Fis in your space all the time. But like let's say you turn off the one closest to you, like yours, for a period of time and try meditating again or focusing on something beautiful. Maybe it's easier. Or if you like go for a walk and like you're experiencing nature. And by nature, I just mean anything growing, like a tree. I know in cities it's not like the same as much. Like Montreal is pretty good. It's got the mountain park and whatever, but not everybody's like on the mountain. Like um yeah, so that might be an obstacle. Also like sometimes food, like I saw this video where this guy was he had a it was a bit hard to understand what he was saying, but in general, it was like if you eat foods that are not like gonna give you like sugar gives you like this big energy release. And he was saying if you eat foods that are more like complex sugars, you digest them more slowly, so you're less likely to have like these like, highs and crashes and stuff. Um, so there might be that aspect to it too, where your body's sort of distracted with processing too much sugar, caffeine, or whatever it might be. So to try to like calm that, uh, like, there's this. I think I read it when I was like 16, like a method of meditating where you're at like a mountain lake and there's like pebbles in the lake, and let's say it's a bit like wavy and stuff, and you want to like calm the water till it's like glass, and then you can like reach in and pick up a rock and look at it and then put the rock down and pick up another one. And you kind of have to be calm to do stuff like that, or like to just observe. So if you want to purposefully get an edge on it working better, then like maybe turning off your Wi-Fi for that time, or consciously like eating less exciting foods, but healthy for you. Yeah, because it's like this childlike wonder of like a kid like stepping on a fence and like peeking through the rails at a scene further on, and it's like with that same sort of innocence and lack of baggage that you're just gonna be really vibing with the scene. Because like okay, and here's my point, like, or whatever. Like, things are kind of like half crazy, half not crazy in the world. Most like there's a lot of disruption and rotten stuff going on, and it's like, well, how do we fix that? It's like it's important to focus to like start from a good point and like have that be your foundation and like get your information from that place, like that place of beauty and um, natural order and like stuff like that. And by natural order, I mean like actual nature. I'm not talking about a people idea like imposed on nature. I'm talking about actual nature. Um, because like nature's like pretty, it's amazing, but it's fragile. Like it's easy for someone to mess it up, right? So, like for instance, my I was talking about my dock or whatever, like with it, and like there's the baby beaver who's making a little house. There's like five frogs who are clocking me like every time, and then they're interactive too, and the ducks and whatever. So, but if I were to be like table flipping in the dock area, it would freak them out, and like it's part my role is to not bother them and be like a nice friend, and you have to be kind of calm. So like in any kind of like anytime you want to like preserve something good, to begin from like this calm space and like have that connection with what is good and like that vibe of like how it all kind of fits together as your like mental space living in life and stuff, so that any choice you make is going to be from this good place rather than reactionary or like going off of like some other person's script who might be just like highly caffeinated and sugared up and like and also just reactive and like you're not going to make a cool plan out of that situation if you're being reactive. So Um, okay, wait. It's like a fairly basic reading I'm doing right now about like be consciously spend time focusing on good and like the beauty of the world and like feel like you're you're a citizen of that. And then I just like I just want to like see what I pick up. Yeah, so it just feels like a lot of like human dialogue like coming in. It's even like people you love and trust who are close to you or calm people, like they still have like information coming at you. And it's like if you can try to like find a place to make like nature your focus and just that peace and how everything's kind of like working together and that because like earth is like if you think of it as like feminine and like a womb and stuff, and if we like damage her creative process, then she's going to be suffering and stuff. So like, and that's our home, right? So it's like at the very basic, like starting point of making important decisions, it's like factor that in first, and then like other stuff other minute details like after that. And that might mean like altering your lifestyle a bit to suit that like recognition of interacting with Earth like more. Because like this is kind of going off on more tangents today, but um, like when I think about New York City and stuff, like I've never had the urge to live there. It's nice to go play a show sometimes. Like, like I did that like in the early 2000s or mid whatever, whatever, like 2010 or I don't know around then. Um, but like I'm always like happy to come back to Canada. like, like it's cool and everything, but like all the time, you know. So it's not like a not everybody has a good time in New York, right? Like it's like um it's has cool aspects, but it's also it's both happy and sad all at once. So whereas nature's kind of like perfect, right? I don't know what the ideal is, but like there's some, you know, there's something about like dysfunctional large cities that are kind of like an evolving mess or like a creative project slash hot mess, like um that isn't like in sync with nature, obviously. And it's not because it's not making everyone happy, then it's not really working, is it? Like so just to like on the very basic level, I guess I'm suggesting often like recentering yourself often um to like what is actually like important to maintain and respect, and to not be like like for as an old person, like stuff like video games. I was too old to like when video games started. I was too old already. Like I played Pong, and then after that, like I wasn't interested because it was like I was too old for it. So the level of uh, interaction that people have now with video games and stuff is like astonishing. So just because stuff exists, you know, it's like junk food, or just because people make it doesn't mean you have to buy it and eat it and whatever. So like eventually those businesses will figure out like Blockbuster or something that's like, oh, people aren't coming anymore because they don't, they don't want they don't want book size ribbons of tape to watch movies on anymore. And so like find better places to park your mind like on something that's actually like important, like nature. And it also restores you, and like it's like, you know, it's like your natural mom. So it's like uh important to feel supported by nature and like part of it. And the only way to do that is to focus on it. There you go, say. um all right, let me just try to wrap it up with any other thing. I also feel like it's not necessary to like talk to friends about it necessarily. I just feel this like these sort of light blue archways of like echoing archways like that of like that's what it feels like talking about it to other people. It's better instead of verbally like human to human like relaying that kind of stuff. It'd be better like just to take a walk with a friend and be in nature and let them do the math about like connecting. Like you don't, even though I'm telling people I'm using my voice like kind of going against what I'm saying right now, but um just put more time in focusing on the good and like what is like, even if you're not presently in a place that is naturally beautiful, it does exist. It's out there, and focus on it and vibe with it, and it will be a better foundational place to make just any like decisions or just your vibe in general, like raising your vibe to match the beauty of nature and just how everything fits together and that you're part of that as like a foundational like thing that you nurture all the time, like regularly. ah, anyway, so I'm gonna wrap it up there, and I appreciate if anybody subscribes or like if you have a subject that you want me to cover, feel free to email me. You can find my email through my website, lauracrapo.com, and you can see testimonials from my healing sessions and the various artistic, musical, film, whatever projects I've been working on throughout the years. Um, have a good day, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.